Hello, Christine Gordon, President of the American Association of Cosmetology Schools. Well, here we are again, and this will be the fourth in the video series of 4 talking about the strategic plan and the direction of AACS. Our goal, the fourth goal, although one might wonder why it's not the first goal because it's one of the most important ones, is simply that AACS will be financially secure and stable to be able to fulfill its mission and strategic goals. Needless to say, that's an important goal. So I'm pleased to report not only have we achieved that goal, but we continue to work on it every year through our Finance Committee, chaired by Mr. Don Yearwood, and they're doing a great job for us. A couple of things to draw your attention to. As you may recall, 3 years ago, the association purchased our building there in Phoenix, Arizona, where Jim, Lisa, and the crew do the day-to-day business of the association. In addition to that, even before we came up with a strategic plan, the board had committed itself to creating a fund that would be equal to a year's operating expenses and set that money aside just on the off chance that we would have a rainy day or there would be a downturn in cosmetology schools, whether that's in governance and certainly with GE, although we still don't really know what that's going to mean for us. We know that it's going to come back, but perhaps the timeline has expanded. But when we initially talked about GE and we ran the numbers through our GRC committee, it appeared that it was very possible that we could lose as much as 30% of our schools. And clearly that would have an impact on your association being able to continue to provide great services for the remaining schools so that we could weather this time. So it's very important to us that we are prepared and that we're financially stable. The other area that we have to look at, of course, is conventions. Should there be a weather event prior to or during one of our conventions, clearly that would have a very strong financial impact on AACS and the balance sheet. So when we looked at how are we going to ensure over the next 30 years that we're strong and that we're very viable, there are a number of things that we are currently working on. So as I said, we've bought our building. We have money set aside that if there would be a downturn, either in membership or there would be a weather event or any other kind of difficulty within any of our conventions, that we are in a financially strong position to be able to weather those things. But in addition to that, what are our other opportunities? Earlier this year, we considered the possibility of raising the membership dues, but we decided that we are going to look a little closer about being able to trim some cost, perhaps looking at some non-dues revenue. How are some other ways that revenues could come into the association? So in fact, for this year, 2012, into the first quarter of 2013, a decision was made not to increase the membership dues. We're still looking at that. We're hoping that we can continue, but I think everyone would agree that the membership fee that we pay is very, very small when we compare it to a number of other associations, and we also compare the value that one gets as a member of the American Association of Cosmetology Schools. But what are some areas that we could look to trim expenses or to increase revenues? So some of the things that we've looked at, we want to increase our faculty development. Perhaps you'll see in the near future, and the near future strategically would be in the next 3 years, perhaps we'll be able to do some regional CEA events where we can look at developing faculty that perhaps your teachers won't have to fly to, that they would be able to drive into, and those are being studied very closely currently by a task force both on the board and within the CEA committee. We also look, are there new chapters? Are there other business possibilities that we haven't looked into? Perhaps a new category of professionals. Most of you remember a couple of years ago when we brought in the Association of Skincare Schools. We've also looked at massage therapy, again within the genre of beauty and wellness. We also look to be able to create cost efficiencies. We brought on an event management company which has done a wonderful job for our conventions. And I know that you've all seen the difference in the quality in our conventions and what we have to offer. We also want to look at creating a return on investment or an ROI template for our committees. When we look at our committees like the GRC or certainly within PR, those are expenditures that are important for the association, but we want to be able to have a way to measure. We put money in. What did we get in return that is value to our membership? So the board is currently, and through the Finance Committee, looking at those types of things. In addition to that, we continue to look at our investment strategy with the funds that we have invested to be able to set aside for a rainy day. So making certain that we are financially sound is absolutely a value and a goal from your association. It's been my pleasure over the last 4 weeks to talk with you about the direction of AACS, making certain that everyone does understand the goals and what the Board of Directors and our board task forces are working on. I hope that you will feel free anytime during the convention to talk to any of the board members about any of the goals that we've discussed. But in summary, our goal is advocacy. We advocate for educational excellence, and we have a vision that cosmetology will be a premier career choice throughout this great land and actually even globally. Because at the end of the day, you know what? Beauty changes lives. You change lives, and we want to be able to be there and to be strong, to support your vision, to support your schools, and most importantly, to support your students. Thank you.